We're here with Derek Thomas of Thomas Landscapes. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tony.
Nice,
How are you?
Morning. I'm doing great.
Yeah, it's a bit of a chill.
Yeah, it is. You are again answering some questions that you've gotten from people about spring plantings and fruits and vegetables and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's our little summer vegetable primer. And also, I have to give a quick shout out to Gloria and her friends. They're going to be doing some planting this week in Northeast.
Okay.
They were getting some things together when I was at the garden center, and I told them I'd say hi to them this morning. They're loyal viewers and say that they love you.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Thank you for watching. Now you got some good tips here from the expert.
Okay, here's what you want to do. With your summer vegetables, the most important thing is the soils.
Okay.
I've got some shredded hardwood mulch here, I've got some compost, and I've got potting mix.
Okay.
This is a soil-less mix. Make sure that you get something that says potting mix, not potting soil. And this is an organic fertilizer. Okay. What you want to do with this is you start about with 1 part of each if you're going to be potting up your vegetables into pots. Okay. Mix this together and you get a really good blend like that. Sprinkle it with a little bit of the organic fertilizer, or you can use a prepared fertilizer.
All of this readily available? All
of this is readily available at any reputable garden center.
Okay.
So 1 part each. One of the big questions that I always get from viewers love crookneck squash in this area, and the problem with squash is if you only plant 1 plant, you will not get squash reliably because squash plants cross-pollinate. What you want to actually do is plant your squash in what's called a hill. It's a mound like this. And you take this, you put it in there like that, and then you'll put your 3rd plant in. What'll happen here is the plants will actually cross-pollinate. This little plastic ring should be removed. I'm just showing the viewer, but the pot will actually disintegrate. This way, the cross-pollination, you'll make sure that you get a good harvest of squash.
Gotcha, okay, very
good. Another question that I get a lot about summer veggies, people love their beans, but they don't understand why most of the beans after the first crop kind of die out. Go on to any reputable garden website and look up an inoculant. What an inoculant is, it's a microfine powder, it's bacteria, and it actually gets those bean seeds inoculated, and the beans are able to take in nitrogen naturally through their leaves throughout the whole summer, and they will give you a yield all the way to fall.
So I didn't know that you had to do that. You
don't have to, but if you don't do it, the only good harvest of beans will be the first.
Really?
This will give you harvest throughout. Now our tomatoes. People in Washington love tomatoes.
Yeah, fresh tomatoes, fantastic.
And one of the misnomers is that you have to plant tomatoes at night to get a better harvest. That is absolutely not the case.
It's not. I've always heard that.
Tomatoes couldn't care less when you plant them. The other thing is, it's still a bit early. It's a bit chilly for tomatoes. Right now, if you wait until right after Mother's Day, that would actually be the best time to do it.
Okay.
So wait about 2 weeks to put your tomatoes in. Lastly, leggy tomatoes. I get this question all the time. What do I do if my tomatoes are just really, really leggy? And what happens is, if you look here, I'm just getting this plant adjusted a bit. If you look here, the tomatoes are all the way up here.
Oh, right, of course. Right.
Okay? What's happening is, all of these lower leaves, the plant is going to lose. Now, most of the times when you are planting a plant, you want to make sure, and Tony, I'm going to get you to hold the tomato plant steady for me.
Are there
just hold
in
it.
This or anything?
No. Hold it up top here, and watch your suit. I'm going to be coming around the back.
We have to wrap up, but go ahead.
Yeah. What you want to do is you want to fill that in all the way up. It's okay to cover a tomato plant all the way to the top. And you would continue to add soil all the way up to where your hand is.
Wow.
What that's going to do is the tomato is going to produce more roots, and you're going to get a better crop.
And this is that same mix that we made over there?
This is the same garden mix that we did.
There you go. Wait on the tomatoes a little bit.
Wait on the tomatoes a little bit, but when you plant them, it's okay to plant them too deep.
Gotcha. Derek Thomas, as always, our Ask the Garden guy with some great tips there. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thanks for helping me out.
We'll be back with just a little bit more.
The Fox 5 weather app. Look 10 days ahead or hour by hour. View today's video forecast and radar that can pinpoint your neighborhood free at your app store or Android market.